Pick a very popular alternate history scenario. Which one
Okay.
is the most absurd?
Ooh.
Ooh.
And I would lend it to like, even like certain books or shows and
Yeah.
stuff too, of course.
Okay.
So are we talking like act just generic scenarios, or are we talking about like anything that people have wrote in fiction
I'd say
and
both.
then like say both?
Something
Okay.
that people would understand and have some ideas of. Maybe they heard it. Maybe it's a
Yeah.
period they
Well,
know a little
then
bit more of.
keep it to something that's been written or like a movie or a show or something.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. Um.
All right. I'm gonna have to think about this a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't want to take one that I think pretty much everyone like the freshest one that Cody has talked about, actually. The easy one would be The Man in the High Castle. Oh, the book.
Yeah.
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 I think Germany winning World War II in many ways is.
Yeah.
I mean, that's ironically it's the most popular, but it's also there's so it's kind of I guess
Okay.
I can take World War II. I guess I
Take
can
it.
do that.
Take it.
Go
You
for it.
can
Yeah,
take
I'll,
that.
I'll do I'll do Germany
Or you
winning
can
World War
take
II.
like Germany winning.
Just Germany winning. I'll
Yeah.
say the
Um.
generic Germany
Okay.
wins plan. I want to rant about that actually.
All right. Do I want to go with Alexander? For some reason, because we talked about American presidents, I thought like there is this idea that Washington could have became a king and made America a monarchy, but I
I
don't go.
I got
I
one
would,
in mind, but it is a written thing, but I can use it as a scenario, and it's wonkier than anything you both will come up with.
Oh,
that
really?
works.
It's a really goofy one.
There are a lot because I just did an iceberg video of all the alternate timelines, and it's like yeah, there's so there's so many that are just like their basis just makes you laugh. Um, but yeah, I'm trying to stick to trying to stick to the ones people. No, there was one
I'm
that was about. No, sorry. Continue.
no worries. I'm gonna go with Japan beating America.
Okay.
All
A
right.
lot of people
So
go, oh, Pearl Harbor, if the carriers were there and Japan invades California, like
Oh
kind of in
yeah,
the
that's
same,
feasible. Yeah.
right? Right. It is popular, right?
Yeah, they had.
um, I guess so. Oh, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I don't tread on your toes. I'm gonna go with America loses the revolution.
Okay.
I'm gonna go
Is
with
the
that
most
because
absurd.
I've seen a well, not the most absurd. It's just how it's depicted in
Okay.
fiction. I've seen what a America that's still under British rule looks like, and it's kind of it makes me laugh. So
All
All
right.
right.
So
Good choices.
mine is science fiction and it's really weird. There's an anime adaptation to this, and it's What If War of the Worlds happened in 1899?
oh wow.
Hmm. By the way, Cody, I prefer you go with Germany because it's gonna make more of a contrast between
Okay,
which
so
is
you
more
don't want to bounce.
absurd.
Okay, that works. I can do that too. All right,
Yeah, and
I'll
he
do
can
that.
talk about aliens.
Yeah,
Oh,
we'll all
not
bounce off each
necessarily.
other. That
It's
works.
actually about Teddy. That's why I'm talking about it.
There we go. Got to bring
Okay,
Teddy up
I
in every
guess I'm
question.
going first, right?
uh, have I gone first yet?
I don't
Oh,
think so.
yeah, I think it's you. Yeah,
I think so. Okay.
yes, it is. Sorry.
All right. I can't believe I'm bringing up this really stupid anime. Okay. War of the Worlds Goliath was a idea that in 1899, War of the Worlds happens just the way that the actual novel by H.G. Wells goes. But, after killing 140 million people, the aliens die of the stupid, goofy bacteria, and then they go home. But Nicholas Tesla, as a scientist, rallying with everybody around the world, led by the war minister, Teddy Roosevelt, they reverse engineer the alien technology because they know the aliens are going to come back one day to attack them. We're on the edge of World War One. Archduke Ferdinand gets shot. Everyone's about to go to war. The freaking aliens come back. How are they going to defeat these aliens? Teddy Roosevelt in a goddamn mech suit is how. With Nikola Tesla's stupid scientific mind making all these weapons that use like the alien rays that you saw in War of the Worlds against the aliens. And then like we have all these kind of situations where Germany and Russia have to team together, but everyone's kind of against each other. Even the Japanese are for some reason much more like their World War II counterpart 1914 than they should be, and it's weird that way. But the only man who could get them all together is Teddy Roosevelt, who actually forsakes being president apparently in this. And then when all the ashes are done and everyone is the few remaining survivors are there, Teddy Roosevelt says to all of them, "Now we're going to take the war to Mars." Done.
Hell yeah! Woo!
USA.
I buy that. I'll destroy with the counter. Like that's super believable. Teddy,
Yeah,
Tesla. I'm sorry, but terrible choice.
I see nothing historically wrong with that at
Me
all.
too. Me too.
Who wants to go
100%.
next?
Seal of approval. I guess I'll go next.
Okay.
Yeah. So Germany winning World War II is not only one of the most unrealistic scenarios, I think it actually perpetually is actually harmful because it kind of helps the image of Nazi Germany even like 80 years after they've lost. Because every depiction of Germany in World War II is that they are a global spanning empire that have troops everywhere. They can control America, they can control Asia, they can control Africa, and man the high castle is the main thing of that. But because of that, people kind of retroactively view the Germans as stronger than they really were. And it's like, yes, if they had won, they wouldn't have won World War II, mainly just because of their oil and the fact that Germany was located between three global powers. It just, there's many videos and many talking points about how the Germans were not this technological mega machine that we often are depicted, and a lot of what we think of Germany as super powerful was from their own propaganda. And so because of that, when we talk about, oh, Germany wins an alternate history, it's like they have these futuristic machines and stuff which they would not have had at all. Realistically, if Germany had even somehow won World War II, they would have collapsed within themselves just because of their own ideology. So yes, I'm done.
Pretty much. It's almost like you could do a 4-part series on that.
Honestly, oh yeah, I what's his potential histories videos are just the best in disproving all of that. I love the whole thing, mostly just about like talking about how their oil was gonna run out, and that's just never talked about. It makes anything like Man the High Castle just, I know it's like fiction, but it just makes me laugh whenever I see it. So
all right, Georgi,
this is gonna be a tough one. Also, potential history, like I remember the intro still to this day, like so clearly in my head with the time machine and SpongeBob. But anyway, when you're talking about your two scenarios, I think what you need to change in terms of levers is changing a lot of external factors. But with Japan, you have to change everything. There's so many domestic things that are wrong that it's totally absurd to even conceive of the idea that this is a lasting empire, that this is a goal that could be achieved in any sort of way. With the Germany and even the aliens, okay, I'm changing one lever, I'm giving you the aliens, Germany, I'm changing a couple of levers, making other people weaker. Maybe Roosevelt dies early and there's a lot of discontent in America. Maybe there's a coup in the Soviet Union. Like, I'm changing some external levers and the domestic power of the Germans, which, although overplayed, they can still trample over their external force. The Japanese were completely fighting each other all the time, all the different sectors, all the rivalry they had. So many things. I'm grateful for Craig teaching me, because now I know that no matter what happens externally, the domestic alone is enough to make Japan weak. It's the hardest campaign of the two to make happen in Hearts of Iron. America is just like, it's not the same weight category. It's just not even close. GDP wise, logistics wise, unity, going to California, like why, what's the strategic value there? It's like they did the maximum amount they could do with their domestic issues, and that's it. It's absurd.
Okay.
Okay.
So I was first, so I get to do my rebuttal.
You have to say why our
Yours
two
are
choices
least.
are reasonable.
Yeah. You fools. So we'll start
like
off
a
by
front.
saying I don't have to differentiate you. You're the Axis because you're both together in this, and you are both coordinating and actually talking to each other in my scenario. So Operation Barbarossa actually works, and the Japanese do come at the right time because for some strange reason they overcome a ton of things that would be unreasonable for Hoku Shinran to work, but it works out because they know what's going to happen because of some magical thingamajig. And they're going to win World War II easily because they're going to coordinate, they're going to talk. Maybe they'll go through, the Middle East like they were planning to. And perhaps Japan will realize, yeah, Pearl Harbor was not a good idea. And I just won't do that. I'll just help Germany. We'll conquer this, and then we'll do what we have to do later. It's not unreasonable. That's why there's like 100 million books on it as an alternate history, because people really felt that somehow Germany was going to magically, synthetically make oil, just like the Japanese tried, and it'll work. Fun.
I like this idea that now us as the X powers have to defend ourselves about why we suck. So it's like, oh, actually, we're the worst entity. We couldn't do anything right. This is why. So I guess
that being said, you made our
so,
scenarios even more absurd than they originally were.
A little bit, yeah.
Meeting together in the Middle East,
it really helped
each other.
Yeah, we can actually do it.
It could happen. You could have Tojo and Hitler just like high five.
Yeah,
Tojo was a Hitler fanboy.
He would do it. He would fist bump him. So
fist bump.
I mean,
let's fist bump in Siberia.
Fist bump in Siberia.
Only half an ocean away.
Yeah.
All right.
I guess. Oh man, how do I rebut? I can't rebuttal robot like Teddy at all, and I can't really. Okay, I'll just say Japan was. There was a situation that. I don't know. I feel like I'm team killing now. I feel like I'm turning on my own person. Are we a united front now? Okay.
You're
all right. I'm gonna at least say Germany was just had everybody hate them. Germany was surrounded by enemies. Japan, yes, they had China, and yes, they had the Soviets, but the Soviets were not paying attention to them until they did. Japan at least had the weak island nations, you could call it. They could make maybe a small little empire. I can't say any of this with sincerity because I just know it's wrong. But I guess Germany was just, they could never, you know what? This is how I'm going to refrain it. Germany couldn't have the global spanning empire that every scenario says they could have. Could they have won World War II? Maybe in a technicality, if like America didn't feel like doing anything and they didn't invade the Soviet Union and it was just they invaded Poland, maybe. But Japan, but like in terms of the global spanning empire, I think that's the most laughable scenario because Germany was okay. You know what I mean. There's a lot. You have Robot Teddy. I have to explain why Nazi Germany couldn't work.
Yeah. Actually, that was actually a solid choice with Robot Teddy. How is that scenario the most reasonable one of the?
It's so ridiculous.
We have to do like Wikipedia articles for a while. Yeah. This couldn't work.
Okay. Why is Robot Teddy and Hitler winning the war reasonable?
Think about the sentence you just said.
Yeah. Let me give it my best shot.
Problem is, I genuinely agree that Robot Teddy is reasonable, so that's why I can't argue against him.
You are really just missing aliens. Give me aliens, and people will start appreciating Tesla for the mad genius that he actually was. Teddy would give him all of the funding, and that would actually happen. It may not happen exactly like you describe it, and they may not even go to Mars. But Mecha Teddy, I totally see that. It's like Teddy, the Rough Rider. I can see that. That's such a good movie. As for Germany winning, I think you underestimate the German Empire. It's still unfeasible, but like, ask yourself this: who is more likely to run an empire more efficiently, Japan or Germany? Like, Japan can maintain their own islands together with some unity. And yeah, of the two, which is more absurd, it absolutely is Japan. Like, Germany had a plan and a solution. Maybe it was not the final solution, but at least it had a plan. Japan had no idea. They had no idea what they were doing.
You had to.
German. That's a great argument. Germany at least had a solution. My God.
The final solution.
Craig's gonna put this in the trailer, aren't you?
Oh yeah, this is going in the trailer.
No.
I created this personalized air filter for people that really care about the air that they breathe. Breaths of fresh air. Comes a free armband that says, I'm the solution. As in, I'm the solution to pollution. Is there a problem right now?
On top of your quote, I like the genocide.
No, God, no.
On one hand, robot Teddy. On the other hand, genocide.
I could just picture Cody literally an hour ago going, okay, podcast, I gotta prepare, I gotta like, who knows what they're gonna throw at me.
I was thinking it was gonna be like a Q&A sort of thing. I like this better.
No.
This